So I'm going to be speaking about the power of the impossible. So to begin, I think I'll talk about the problem with the possible. I mean, I coach people all the time, and most people tend to go for what they think they can get. So the next rung on the ladder, the job that maybe laterally moves across, or something that seems that they can achieve, right? And that seems great, but there's a few problems with that. One, it's not always that exciting, right? It's a path laid out step by step, so you know what's coming, assuming you can get there. Secondly, the problem with the possible is you're almost attached to the outcome a lot more. When you know it's possible, you know you should be doing it, right? You should be earning that wage, you should be doing that job, and if you're not, it can leave you feeling a little bit empty and like you're not enough. It can be a real problem, which is what I come across a lot. Now, the impossible. Now, it can seem, you look at someone who does impossible things, you look at the Richard Bransons of the world, and you think, that's a guy who's got something that other people don't have. That's why he can do that. He's special. But the reality is that's not the case. We all have the ability to do the impossible, to be the impossible. For me, for instance, I'll give you a little heads up of a few things that I've done. I used to have severe panic attacks and social anxiety. So it was only not that many years ago really, that my friends would be knocking at the door and I'd be hiding inside because I was too scared to open the door to them. Then last week I gave a talk called on how to create deep connections and find your people to a room full of like 60 or 70 people. So, if that was to me where I was, that wouldn't even be in my radar. That's impossible. It doesn't even come close. Now, also, as Eamon said and Shay said, I quit my job last October to embark on this coaching career. Now, when I left, I had no guaranteed means of earning money doing it. It was something I needed to do for my family, and because it was time, I just had to do that for my life. Now, this was after 17 years in a job in the same building, same location, same boss for 17 years. Although I moved up within that, I didn't even go for an interview because I didn't think I could get anything. I thought I didn't have any abilities or marketable skills, so I didn't even try. That's where I was. Now, 2 years ago, I decided to embark on this coaching thing. So I got myself a coach, and I immersed myself in it. Now, all I could do at the time, because I had a full-time job, I had family to care for, I had a girlfriend that lived very far away, I could do 15 minutes a day. So that was writing a post on Facebook, recording a short video. It was sending an email to someone that I wanted to coach. It was that 15 minutes a day was where I began. Now, 2 years later, I coach entrepreneurs, I coach Olympic athletes, in fact. I coach people, heads of charities, in different countries. And I get to do this from a laptop wherever I am in the world because I do it by Skype. That's my life. My life was built around my family, which matters to me most, and my career was built around that. Because I quit my job, I had the gift of spending the last 10 months of my grandma's life with her before she passed away. Now, if I'd have stuck with what was possible, I would have stayed in that role because it wouldn't be possible for me to make money and to be able to do that. But I had the gift of being able to do that because I made that leap, because I was willing to risk that much. But going back 2 years, did I think this would ever happen? Going back 18 months, I didn't think this would happen, So what's possible is only as much as your imagination can conceive. Now, I'm in a fortunate position to be surrounded by people who live the impossible. In fact, I met someone the other day who is one of the most incredible people I've ever met. She's 20 years old and she is an acrobat. Her name is Arissa Kelly. Check her stuff out. She can do a trick that only one person in the world can do, which is her. And her story is, when she was 6 years old, doctors told her parents that she had hypermobility and that she would be disabled by the time she was 15. She loved gymnastics so much, she'd been doing it for 3 years. Her mum could not take that away from her, and thank God she didn't, because at 20 she is phenomenal and she's only getting stronger and better at what she does. She's laughing in the face of that doctor, and what they said was possible for her. I also do yoga. I've started recently. I do it in the mornings. Now, yoga's always bored the hell out of me, so I've never been able to get into it. But recently I found this one called DDP Yoga. It's this American wrestler, load of DVDs. And the reason I found that was because there was like a video going around on Facebook last year. You may have seen it. It's this American veteran, and he was really overweight, and he had crutches. And you see it? Do you recognise that? Yeah. He couldn't walk. Doctors told him he would never walk unaided again. 18 months later, he'd lost loads of weight and he was able to run again and to live a completely different life, you know, seemingly impossible. I've got a friend of mine, Rosie Allen, who I do talks with. She made herself homeless and is now, last year actually similar time to me, and she is now building a successful career where she's empowering people to achieve fulfilling lives. Eamon, for instance, quit his job earlier this year, and he is now embarking on travelling the world, doing what he loves, you know, creating a life with the person he loves, Alma, doing what he loves. Shay here, one of the most incredible people you'll ever met. I mean, my God, if you look at what she does in her life, it's seemingly impossible what she crams in and what she's able to do with singing, with being a lawyer, and even just doing this event, right? The impossible. So there are so many seemingly ordinary people on the surface that are doing impossible things. And then this is very relevant for you, because I don't know where you are. I know there's a lot of cool people here probably doing pretty great things. But if you ever think you're ordinary, now, this came to me last week before I gave the talk. Do you understand the actual chances of you existing and being here in this moment? How tiny it was that you're even here? You know, if you go back to the 6 or 7 catastrophes that happened on this planet alone, you know, wiped species out, the human race shouldn't even exist if it wasn't for those catastrophes. Then you're talking about, you know, you are the one of the thousands of sperm that made it into the egg that was able to be born, and you survived that process. Then your life embarked on a series of events that led you to this moment. And so if you ever think you're ordinary, just the fact that you're here and breathing is extraordinary. So, and it's important to realise also that what I said earlier, actually, if we go back to whether you have possible dreams or impossible dreams, I highly recommend you start thinking about what you love most to do in life. If you didn't have to worry about money, location, ability, experience, you know, finances, anything like that, anything at all, what would you do if you could do anything? Really connect to what that is. Connect to your passions, connect to what you would love, and then find a path to do that. Because there's always something you could do in this moment to do that. In fact, I was coaching someone yesterday. She wants to reform she's in America, and she wants to reform the government there on how they deal with children and with autism and things like that. The system is not set up very well for protecting them, and she wants to change that, and that seems insurmountable. However, we after, you know, going around the houses a little bit, we got to a simple step she could make. She could find out what other people are doing right now, start a conversation up, and she can start building a movement to help, you know, to help you create that change if she wants. That's how simple it can be. I was coaching an actress earlier today, in fact, and she's got huge dreams about what she wants to do in America and all the different things she wants to do in life. Now, what's missing is the other connections there. So what I got her to do is a little game where she's going to reach out to 50 people that she's inspired by, 50 people who are doing what she wants to do, directors, actors, you know, people who are already doing it, and see if she can bring them into her life. Because we're so connected to everyone that anything, you know, anyone is possible. I spoke on my last one actually about how earlier in the year I went to coach astronauts, and within 2 weeks I was talking to loads of astronauts through LinkedIn, because that's how connected we are, right? To be honest with you, it bored me a little bit because it was too easy, if I'm honest. You know, that's the other problem with the possible too. When it's possible, it's not as exciting, you know. And so now, yes, world leaders is where I'm at. That's my new goal for the next 2 years, to be coaching world leaders. And the point is not ever happening, by the way. The point of the impossible is to do that, you rise up, you become better today by going for that thing. You know, I'm better today than I was yesterday, better tomorrow than I am today, and you can be too when you're connected to your impossible dream. We could die at any moment, right? We don't know. And if you're living your life through what you think you can achieve, you know, life could be okay. You live your life through what's impossible and going for that, it doesn't matter if you get there. You've lived to your fullest fucking potential and you're always there. And that is the power of the impossible. Now, O'Shea hasn't stood up yet, which is amazing, because normally I talk a lot more than this. But I'd like to leave you with that. I'd like you to go away from here, think about what's impossible for you, and actually find a tiny step to do that. And because there's a whole connected people here, I recommend you connect other people as well, follow up with each other, and actually support each other in creating that impossible, because who you walk with changes what you're able to create. You are the average of 5 people in your life that you're closest to. I'm gifted with having impossible people that are closest to me. You've got that opportunity here if you don't already. So connect with other amazing people and seek the impossible. That is the true power.